Hi friends, today I'm going to share a late summer harvest, picking our green beans and some zucchini and a few simply serene moments along the way. So my trusty little Muppet Cooper is going to come help me pick beans. This summer in Nova Scotia has been unlike any other. With the drought and the fires in the Annapolis Valley and surrounding areas, it's been heartbreaking to see families lose their homes. And my heart and prayers go out to everyone who's been affected. And in the middle of all this, I feel especially grateful that we're safe and grateful for the small blessings in our garden this year. I'll be honest, I've been a little disappointed with how things grew. The dryness has been really tough, but it's also the very first year we started seeds indoors back this past spring, and seeing those tiny seeds grow into plants that we can actually harvest, oh my gosh, it's been so rewarding. Having said that, not everything thrived, but some did, and for that, I'm so thankful. So you can see the state of my plants. They're looking a little sad. I do have a huge zucchini here to pick and a smaller one. And I have some acorn squash. I have some spaghetti squash growing. Here's some acorn squashes. We've already picked some. There's that zucchini. My goodness, it's big. And our beans are not as many as we would ordinarily get. Here's a spaghetti squash. And I also have some butternut squash growing. And Brian's just getting the hose ready so that we can water our tomatoes. I'm excited that I still have zucchini growing though. And we do have, quite a few beans that we will be picking tonight so that I can get them canned. And there's a lot more beans and flowers. So normally there'd be a lot more beans than that. And look at the pumpkins. Oh my goodness. There were so many pumpkins on these plants, and now I only have two. My raspberries, if you watched some of my videos earlier, you would have seen me picking my raspberries, and the raspberry bushes were loaded, and now look how dry and dead some of the plants are. These are my cucumbers, you guys. Normally there'd be tons of cucumbers growing. I don't know them. Unless I buy cucumbers, I won't be making any more dills this year. Maybe some bread and butters with my zucchini. Those were my watermelons and just a few of those. And then look at all my tomatoes. So all along this row here, I have Romas, and then I have my other varieties behind it. But look at the state of those tomatoes. We are due to get some rain this coming weekend. I'm really, really hoping it helps these tomatoes. And all in this empty patch, those were beets. Look at this. This is all I have for beets. Just a few plants. So yeah, all those beets, nope, they didn't make her. And those are my onions. So, and I've got some turnips, and aside from that, that's pretty much it. Here's another acorn squash hiding underneath some leaves. Of course, our supervisor. So my hubby has rigged up the hose. He dug a trench in our yard earlier this spring. Our tap goes right down there between our two sheds here towards the house, and he just cut a path down through the lawn, which the grass was growing back before the drought, and then he's hooked up a faucet here, and my man is taking care of the tomatoes right now. As Brian and I take some time in the garden, I'm reminded just of how peaceful this space is. There's just something about being out here surrounded by the plants and noticing the changes each day and, picking the beans. It feels so good to fill a basket with food that we've grown ourselves and that we're going to be able to enjoy in the coming months. It's always amazing to me. One little seed can grow into such an amazing plant, and then you get all this produce. That never grows old. I just think it's amazing. And this is the first year that I've had success growing squash. So I'm really excited about my zucchini squash and spaghetti squash. And I'm hopeful that the tomatoes are going to ripen before the cool nights settle in too much. The days are still warm, but we have had some nights where the temperatures drop to single digits. We also have all these apples behind us. There's a ton of old apple trees on our property. So I want to get a whole bunch of those picked as well so that I can make some apple pie filling and freeze that, and just some apples for different desserts. So there is a lot to do. And it seems to me that, at least in the UK, they call them windfall apples. So if you're watching and you're from the UK, you can correct me on that, but I'm pretty sure that when the apples fall on the ground, they're known as windfall apples. And so I don't know the variety of all our apples, but they're delicious and they cook up beautifully and they make the most delicious jelly. I've made a rhubarb apple jelly that was out of this world, but I think the apple jelly is my favorite. So I want to make that too. So there's going to be a lot of canning in my future. But you know, how lucky are we that we have all this produce that we can enjoy, you know, right fresh from the garden, or preserve it and harvest it to enjoy in the coming days, weeks, and months, even in the coming years. And you know, the thing with gardening, every year is different. And some things do well, some don't, but there's always something to be grateful for. And even if your space is small, you can still enjoy that joy. A pot of herbs on a balcony, or a tomato plant in a container, or even a zucchini in your backyard. It doesn't matter. What matters is the peace that comes from tending something that grows. So for anyone new to gardening, my advice is simple. Start small. Choose 1 or 2 plants you really love to eat. Give them some water, give them some sunlight, and enjoy watching them grow. And you don't need perfection. The lessons come with time, and the rewards are so worth it. I am still learning. I am always going to be learning. And each year we're making our garden a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. And some years, some of the plants do amazing, and other years they don't. And some years, like this year, we can't control the rain or the sun, which we never can really, but this has been an exceptional year. But there's still just so much that we are grateful for, and truly there's just something just so wonderful about growing your own food. What do you think about our beans, baby?
Beans.
But you know you're going to be happy enjoying them over winter.
I like green beans. See what's bad boy.
It's another probably 6.5 pounder like our last one was. You know, gardening isn't just about food. It's about patience, gratitude, and being present in the moment. It's about noticing the simple joys, like the crunch of beans being picked, the wag of Cooper's tail, growing something like this big zucchini, and then making my salsa or my jams. It's just amazing. You how I'm going to can my beans in my next video, step by step, and there's going to be a lot more canning videos to come too, because preserving food is one of my favorite ways to carry these simple joys into the months ahead. So thank you for walking through the garden with me today, and I hope this video has been a peaceful little escape for you, and maybe even an encouragement to try growing something yourself, no matter how big or how small, because it's these little moments, these simple gifts, just like these beautiful sunflowers, that truly make life serene. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. On my channel, I share recipes, creative inspiration, and simple joys that make life a little more peaceful. Take care, my friends, and I'll see you next time.